Okay, I have got to really say something. I don't understand YouTube and their weird thing. So, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I just had the words in my stream that I was going to title it. I had it put as Playing Railroads Online for Fun. And this is a multiplayer server if you would like to join. And guess what? It proceeds, to say blocked due to some stupid reason talking about forbidden. And I'm like, what have I done wrong now? So apparently when you put the word fun in a stream title, YouTube's like, oh no, that's not good. We must ban this before it even goes live. So YouTube doesn't like the word fun, apparently, is what I've just found out. But hey, who cares? No one likes YouTube either, so... Like, I don't know not one YouTube creator that actually likes dealing with YouTube. Like, it's just an easy-to-use software that they unfortunately deal with. Like, because... Like, the reason I say that no content creator actually likes YouTube is because they make no sense. Like, they will ban anybody that talks about history, like when it comes to German history and stuff. But you let somebody post something inappropriate on here, and it'll get like a buttload of views. It'll get put on somebody's freaking For You page and stuff like that. But you let somebody talk about history, and it gets banned on YouTube. And it's like, how in the world do y'all run this backwards freaking company and stay alive? But whatever. And then they have the YouTube Kids, and I hate to be mean, but half the stuff that I've seen as far as like just the thumbnails for a lot of those YouTube Kid videos, it's not made for kids. I would not say that that is made for kids whatsoever, ever. I would say that that's made for teenagers at best. Like, I will say this, there is probably like one YouTube creator that does like Minecraft stuff that I know of that doesn't do like really suggestive thumbnails. And that is Aphmau. And, you know, I don't even watch her anymore because of the fact that, you know, I'm not a big Minecraft person. But, you know, that's my own thing. You know, it's nothing against Aphmau, it's just that I'm not into watching Minecraft that much anymore. And, you know, her stuff is really cool, especially the werewolf stuff. I still love watching the werewolf stuff from time to time. I used to watch, there was like a cool little YouTube channel called Roxanne and Gregory, and then they started, basically they were acknowledging and agreeing with the gay and lesbian stuff, and I was like, yeah, there's no way that I'm going to be subscribed or support a channel that supports that stuff. So I left that channel. I still haven't left Aphmau because, you know, she hasn't done anything that's really upset me or anything. And, you know, the only thing that really I don't like that she does is she really pushes her merch a little too much, in my opinion. And when I say you push your merch a little too much, I mean, like, every freaking time I look, she's always posting something about, oh my gosh, Aphmau merch is in Walmart now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so is Mr. Beast's stuff, but I don't purchase it either. Shaq has Shaq gummies in Walmart, and I don't buy them. I'm sorry, but I'm not purchasing anything that a celebrity puts into, like, I buy Old Spice because it's the only deodorant that actually works for me. And I know that there are celebrities and stuff that have done commercials for Old Spice. But it's different when you are, like, there's a celebrity that does, like, Verizon commercials and stuff. But that's a company that they have not founded. It's just a company that they're working for, right? It's different doing that rather than, creating your own company. And these days, every celebrity has created their own company because they can. And it's like, dude, chill with the company creating, We have enough companies. We don't need another one. Like, where's your head office? Please tell me, in your basement? Whatever, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I were to create, like, a company or something like that, like, I'd either create, like, a tank modeling company or, like, something like that. Something fun for people to actually enjoy. And it would be, like, really cheap models that are actually built to withstand things rather than break apart the moment that you bring them out of the box. Because, like, I'll tell you guys now, I have, like, a buttload of plastic models. Most of them haven't even been put together. Mainly because, one, I don't have anywhere to put them together at. And two, I don't have anywhere to put them. And three, because they fall apart the moment that you take them off the little things. Because, like, have you guys ever noticed, like, with the plastic models and stuff, they come with, like, those little things that hold the pieces together, and it's like, you have to grab sandpaper and sandpaper those little edges off. And it's like, so you have to sandpaper, you have to paint, you have to glue with the correct glue, or it's going to melt your freaking model. I grabbed some, what they called modeling glue, put it on my Stuka model, and I actually used it for all of the models that I have put together. It melted the model, the plastic on the models, every single one of them. It melted every single one of them, but it's modeling glue. And I was like, yeah, that's not modeling glue. Not the modeling glue that y'all were talking about, at least. I'd honestly, one thing that I'd love to do, like, train modeling. But the biggest issue is, one, it's really expensive. Two, there's a lot of work that goes into, like, building a display. Like, I want to build a really nice, like, I want to build a layout where it's like, one side is like World War II-esque, America. And then on the other side, it's like tanks and there's like trains and stuff rolling through, that kind of stuff. And I think it'll look really, really cool if I can put it together. But the issue is, I have to find the appropriate trains to make it happen. Because who's going to want to see, like, a streamlined American engine rolling through a battlefield? Like, come on. Somebody's going to, like, if I decide to make a separate YouTube channel on it, or if I post it on this YouTube channel, people are going to be like, that's not right. And then, if I grab, like, a German engine and stuff, people are going to be like, oh, well, that's not supposed to be in America. So, like, you have to find, like, a locomotive that would fit in both areas. So, like, I'm kind of thinking, like, wartime engines, But I don't know. We'll see. Dude, I'll give this chase some credit. It's working. It's also very low. Well, not really very low on water, but it's low. Alright, so this is 20 cars worth of logs. Let's see if this thing can pull it up a hill. Because there is a hill right here. And this is the issue that Betsy always had, was pulling up a hill. So we just hit the incline. Or the load did. The load has hit the incline. It's a very small incline, but it's still an incline. It would honestly be nice if, like, I know this is supposed to center around American railroading, but it would be really cool to see, it would be really cool to see, like, Railroads Online not only add standard gauge and redo the rails to add standard gauge rails that run, so, I've tried explaining this, and it's really hard to explain. There are rails out there that have a third rail. You know, everybody knows that the subways have a third rail. Well, it's kind of the same idea, only this third rail would be for standard gauge locomotives. And then if we really wanted to go bold, we could do broad gauge locomotives, which would be a whole nother ball field, which I don't want broad gauge, because that's like a whole nother bit of modeling that I just don't think that anybody would be up to doing. But adding standard gauge into this game would be fun as all get out, in my opinion. It would take some work, and it would take a lot of debugging and everything, but it would be worth it in the end. Also, do y'all guys see the log train just still coming down the track down there? That is crazy. I need to get me some cabooses to put on the back of the train. Because as you see, the Shay is still pulling it, and that was the last car right back there. That is crazy. The Shay's a hard worker, I'll give it that. It is a hard working oh no. Okay, well, it's a good thing I'm actually letting this thing get a rest. I'm actually going to... The plan is we're going for this next, which, the smokestack, I don't know what I'm planning on doing for the smokestack yet. I think for the simple fact of that I know what smokestack I really like on this game. I like this one. The headlight, I think for the simple fact of I like that one. So we gotta figure out like how much money we're gonna be spending on this locomotive right quick. So the green looks weird. The black looks like the blue's really weird. The rustic looks okay, but not really anything I'd want. So we got the black, the blue, or the rustic look. Which one do we want? I kind of like the blue, but to me the blue's a little much. The green, I kind of like the green with the red wheels. I'll do the green. I think the green will do nice. And then that'll be just 3,550. So that'll be how much we'll be blowing on that locomotive. And then the next locomotive that we'll be getting is this one. And I'm kind of iffy about what I want to have it do, considering the fact that the Shay has more tractive effort than this thing does. That's actually kind of crazy. I know that this thing doesn't come with really a lot of cool smokestacks that I really like. I mean, it has this one, but let's be honest. For this locomotive, the big smokestack doesn't look good on it. I kind of like the crown. I like the crown on it. If it had like a big one, though, like a big funnel, that'd be nice. It has that. Ooh, I like that. I like the flat cap. That's cool. No, we're getting that one. That one looks the best on this one. Because that looks weird. That just looks pathetic. And then that other one just... And then the headlight, of course. I know somebody's probably screaming into their headset right now, like, the train is still moving! And I'm like, yeah, I know. Alright, and then this one, of course, we're going to paint it black because it just looks really good in black. Maybe we have this old rustic-looking red. Maybe we should do the rustic red. The rustic red looks really good, too. Ooh, I like that, too, that black, but I like the new black, too. Because that's the red that they give you. Right there, and then that's the black. I like the black, though. The black looks really good on this locomotive, so I think we'll go with the black on that one. And then you see how much we're going to pay for that. So, there's that. And then, of course, everybody knows Eureka, and you can't really do anything with Eureka except for adding the flags that don't move anymore. So, when they added one of the updates, they broke the flags, and they're now stiff. Like, they are a stiff object. They don't move anymore. So that's like a useless little feature that we have in the game. And then, of course, we have the Glenbrook. We all know we love the Glenbrook. You know, I think everybody loves the Glenbrook. Then we have this thing, which, not gonna lie, it's kind of a disappointment of a locomotive. I got it way back when, and it's more or less, this will probably be the locomotive that replaces the Montezuma, more or less, because it's basically an upgraded Montezuma. Wow, that thing's just dead. It doesn't sound like it's doing anything. And the Mosca with that cool looking thing on it. I think it's... Uh-oh. We went too far. See, we weren't supposed to go this far because we needed to fill up on water, so we went too far, so we have to reverse back. That's what happens when I get to talking about how cool locomotives are in this game. What level am I at, by the way? Oh, wow. I'm almost at level 4? 5? It's crazy. Alright, so we're going to be heading down this hill really fast. But as you can see, obviously the train can pull it up because it just, like, freaking hauled it up here like it didn't even care, so... So, obviously, we're going to work on getting the, Now, a lot of people are probably asking, well, when are you planning on getting the Heisler, the Climax, or the Heisler and the Climax? I'm going through the list. I don't care what the tractive effort is. Whatever's next on the list is the next locomotive that I'm purchasing. So, you know, once I get whatever locomotive, that'll be when I get it, you know? So, we have a lot of locomotives to go through before I even get anywhere near the Heisler or the Climax. So y'all are just going to be gonna have to be patient and hope and pray that I don't decide to get really angry because of the fact that none of my locomotives are able to make it anywhere. But I love the fact, though, that they did add the fact that even though the Shay is one of the Shay, actually, excuse me, I say it's one of the slowest engines in the game. The Shay is the slowest engine in the game. It has the pulling power of probably one of the better locomotives in the game. Like, even though it has a tractive effort of, you know, only 5,000, which is about what Eureka has, and it's slower than Christmas, like, it is a really good starter locomotive for hauling the logs. I mean, because come on, like, that's what it's quite literally built for, so... I mean, if you think about it, like, you're giving the train the job that it's always had. Alright, so let's get, Montezuma's headlight going. Let's throw some firewood in here. Yeah. There we go. Alright, you're fired up. What's your tender water looking like? Your tender water's great. Alright, well. Here we go. Alright, so we're just going to be doing back and forth with this. So, we're not really too worried about anything for a while, so we're just going to keep on letting the train do whatever it needs to do. So also, it's raining slightly, which is something that never really happens. Alright, well, we're finally moving, so I'm assuming that Montezuma is actually starting to struggle. So that tells me that 12 cars is about where Montezuma tops out, so... Also, might I add, I can't really see squat right now, so if I get close and I can't see anything, it's all the train's fault. I can't see anything. I don't know. Also, what do you guys think of me getting a caboose to stick on all my locomotives? Once I get all the cars, you know, because it makes no sense for me to buy a train car, then put a caboose on the back. Like, let's say if I went and I bought, like, an iron ore car, and then slapped a caboose on the back. That's one car. What's the use? I also need to do some customizations to this over here because as you can see, you can't see anything over here. So once we stop, because I'm going to go on ahead and just slam on brakes here because I can't see anything as you can see. Well, we're not really going to stop, but I am going to kind of let the train do its own thing. And I kind of slowly let it go through. I'm going to do my best to try and time this to where the cargo lands where it needs to land. Because I don't really know, guys. I can't really see too well in the dark. In this game, the darkness isn't really the issue. When it's raining, it gets worse. So it's like more of a darkness because of the rain issue. But I'm gonna put this thing at 20% throttle and let it kind of go. Alright, so as you guys see, or as you guys may know, It's going to take me a minute to do this, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab the decorations. We're going to grab this. We're going to grab this. We're going to slap that there. And then we're also going to go over to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing because I want to make it look nice. We're going to run over here. We're going to run over here. Batman. And we're going to slap that there. I ran into the recording booth without trying to. That's not really a recording booth, but you get what I'm saying. Slap that there, and then we're done, right? Then we go here. We go to the decorations again. Scroll down, and there is a lantern. Put the lantern on top of this. Alright? Do not put the lantern on the ground. Alright? It don't look right. I'll tell you guys that now. It does not look right with the lantern sitting on the ground. But you put that on there. You know, you put it in the middle, or you put it on there sideways, whatever. It does illuminate it really nicely, and it kind of gives you an area to where you know, oh, hey, I'm supposed to unload there. And that's kind of the whole idea there. So there you go. Also, I don't like the fact that they put the teleport booth where they did, because there are little lines, apparently, somewhere on the side of the thing. Right here. Alright, so we're going to go demolish something. I know a lot of people are like, you haven't done anything really that interesting. Watch this. Facilities, locomotives. We're just going to go all. Alright? This is the teleport booth. It's no longer here, right? Alright, now watch what we're going to do. We're going to go here. It should be the teleport booth. We're going to just go to the telegraph office itself. Now, this is the cool part that I love about the telegraph office, and I think it's like a really cool little detail that they added. It wasn't something that they necessarily had to add, but they added it anyway. So if I put this here, if I put it here, place, you stupid thing. Oh, never mind, it's not going to place because it's going the wrong way. Okay, well, let's try it again. Place it there. Oh my lord, what is the issue here? Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. Telegraph office. Alright, here we go. Click. Bro. Alright, come on now. Maybe if I do it with the foundation? I don't know what the issue is here. Why is it not allowing you to place the telegraph offices? Like, guys, I don't know if y'all can hear this or not, but I am placing the crap out of the telegraph office right now. And it's not doing anything. Have they broke it again? They break the game without trying again? Hey, look at this. I can't place the freaking telegraph office. Can I place an embankment, maybe? Can I place a freaking embankment? I can place an embankment. Alright, well, we don't want that. Alright, now let's try it again. Stupid freaking thing. Come on. Yeah, so it's something to do with the freaking telegraph office. It just will not let you do anything. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm willing to bet it's because of the weather, but I probably have to wait till it stops raining in order to do anything with it, but I'll figure it out later. Yeah, somebody was yelling at me because of the fact that the regulator was all the way up. And apparently they have never played Railroads Online before. Because they were talking about how the regulator, you know, makes the train go faster or quicker. And I'm like, well, yeah, I played Railroader, you dumbass. You think I don't know that? And the thing that aggravated me is this person was calling me a noob because of the fact that I had the regulator up. What they were doing, they were trying to troll somebody, but what they weren't realizing is they were making themselves look like a complete and total moron, because they obviously didn't know what they were talking about either, because if they did, they would have known that in Railroads Online, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to when it comes to the regulator or the reverser. Like if I put the reverser down and then I put the regulator down. Alright, so let's just say, alright, let's just stop the train, right? Let's just stop the train completely, right? Now, according to this person, with the regulator being at, let's see, let's put it at 22, right? It's supposed to be like let's put it, let's leave it at 20, right? Now, by Railroader standards, at 20, your train accelerates a lot faster, right? This is what it does in Railroads Online. See what I mean? You have to have everything at 100% in order to get your locomotive to move in this game. That is how they've got it. They've had it for a long time. And, you know, people have asked them before to please change it to where, you know, it was more realistic, you know, to where, you know, you didn't have to run the regulator at 100% in order to keep your train at full throttle. But they've never added it because of the fact that, you know, makes things a little bit easier rather than having to adjust everything the entire time, you know? And I don't know what this idiot was trying to prove. I don't know if he was trying to make himself look stupid or if he was trying to make me look stupid, but he made himself look stupid in that situation because I knew more in that situation than he did. Now, I know in Railroader, it works. It works the way it's intended to, because they focus more on logistics than they do on the locomotives themselves. And that was the whole point of Railroader. That, like, if you actually pay attention and everything, in the ad and everything that they put out when the game first came out, that was actually what they said, is that they were focusing on logistics, not the locomotives. And they've added a lot of logistics. Like, Railroads Online has yet to get passenger service. Like, we've been asking as a community, and Railroads Online community has been asking for a passenger service for a long, long time, guys. We've been asking for it. A long, long time. We have yet to get it. We still ain't got it. We're okay. Alright, yes, it is boring as all get out not being able to haul passengers. We have a passenger car that we could haul passengers with. And it made everybody think that they were finally adding passengers to the game. They have a passenger station, for God's sakes. Nothing. We have no passengers whatsoever. And I kind of came up with an idea that would kind of add the use for that passenger car. So, everyone knows that to start with Railroads Online, you need to deliver logs to the sawmill. That's the first thing you gotta do, right? Well, if you're starting your own railroad, you gotta build to it, right? Well, what if, instead, they gave you a passenger car to start with, and they said, go to the freight depot, there's workers there. Pick them up, take them to the logging camp. There's an area to dump them out at, or to unload them. And you use the passenger cars to deliver workers from the freight depot, which is where you would have to pick up the workers, and you'd have to deliver workers. And while it would be a one-time thing that you would only have to do, you would get paid for doing it. personally, I think it's a good idea because it would give us a small amount of use for that passenger car until they got passengers in the game. Now, I know a lot of people probably won't go for that because then they'd be like, well, that'll just add more work to the game. Yes, but it'll prolong your gameplay in a map. Think about it like that, all right? We have, like, I'm not even joking, guys. Like, look, all right, hold on. I'm not even joking. Like, let me show it to you. We have this gorgeous passenger car. Very beautiful, very customizable, right? We don't have a use for it. It's just there for decoration. That's the only thing that it's there for. Nobody uses it. Like, it has really good customization options. Like, if we go to customize, it has really nice, it's got like green, another green, a yellow. I like the blue. The blue looks really nice. I plan on doing a Polar Express with that. And, you know, not really a lot, but, you know, enough, right? And then we have like these cool little 3 cabooses that they added. They added the one big caboose, and personally, you know, they're different. And then they have this one, which is supposed to haul the refined gold and the gold ingots. Okay, that's cool, right? But you see the price tag on the sucker, right? And as you can see, it's the same thing. But it's built to be able to haul. It's built to be able to haul with the passenger train. So it's very obvious that they have it in their heads that they want us to eventually have passengers. It's just that they haven't added it yet. And from what I'm understanding, people are talking about that they were going to work on the console, updating it to where we have it for the computer. And then they were going to take a break and they weren't going to work on the game for a little while and then come back to it. I have a strange feeling that them taking a break is them saying, yeah, we're done with the game. We're not messing with it anymore. And if that happens, there's going to be a lot of angry people with this game because it is nowhere near finished. There is a lot of locomotives that still could be added, that should be added, and I get the feeling, if nothing else, people are going to start contacting the original developer and asking him to sell the company to somebody else that'll actually work on the game. Somebody that'll actually take the time to overhaul the game and completely work on it and completely overhaul it to where it'll actually have everything that it needs to have. And I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see everybody basically step up and be like, all right, you're not doing enough for us. We're going to take over the game. You know, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see the developer that originally created the game lose his game. Like, you know, you brought in Black Sheep, you brought in Augustine or whatever the flip that other company is. You brought them in to help you make the game better. In my opinion, they helped you destroy it, because they rushed through things, and the updates that were coming out were more buggy than the ones that were already coming out to begin with. And then when somebody brought it up, they were like, we depend on you guys to test it out for us. That's not how that works. Y'all are like 3 different companies. There is no way that y'all don't have enough people to test out bugs that could be in the game. That's sad. And they really didn't, in my opinion, they really didn't have anywhere, like, logical to actually, like, put, like, oh, you had a bug. What happened? Because, like, there's apparently a page where it's like, oh, you had a bug, submit it to this forms, but it got lost. Like, I've looked for it because I had a few crashes that I was going to report. But, guys, I lost track of it. I couldn't find it anywhere. Like, I looked for it, and I could not find it anywhere. And they were talking about how, that they depended on us. Y'all must depend on us a lot if y'all can't even freaking do that correctly. That's kind of sad, bro. I mean, come on. You know, if you depend so much on the player base to fix your game for you, that's kind of sad. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, they add such cool locomotives, too, and they're decently functional. And personally, I loved watching Heist just freaking freak out because of the fact that everything wasn't perfect enough for him. That's one of the reasons I loved watching him play Railroads Online, because he always freaking freaked out over some of the stupidest stuff ever. But it was hilarious in my opinion, you know? But, you know, I don't know, guys. It bothers me that we have such a great game, and I have a bad feeling. And normally when I have a bad feeling like this, it normally comes true. I don't want to see this game get abandoned. I don't. Because if this game gets abandoned, I don't think anybody's going to play it again. Like, I am probably, like, I know for a fact Aardvark Gaming, or whatever his YouTube channel is, I'm still subscribed to him. He still plays it, but he doesn't upload videos on it very much, because, like, normally he uploads every other day. And normally he spends the day working on something, then he uploads a video of what he worked on. Right? So, you know, I don't know, guys. It bothers me that there's a possibility that this game has been abandoned and that they've moved on to something else. But see, the thing is, I don't think they're going to do that, because there's too much that they still have that they have to do. There's a lot of industries that could be added to the game. A lot of freight. A lot of, like, the passenger service. They have a lot of train cars that they still have to add. A lot of engines that they still have to add. Shoot, we haven't even gotten into the diesel era yet for narrow gauge. And I don't know if there's actually any plans for that yet or not. I know Century of Steam, which is probably going to be a very big competitor for Railroads Online and Railroader, I know they've already started working on diesel locomotives. But my biggest issue, and I actually looked at this, guys, and I looked at it. My biggest issue with Century of Steam, after looking at the graphics and everything, it looks like a copy and paste of Railroads Online when it comes to graphics. It looks like a complete and total copy and paste. Like, the headlights look exactly the same. They look like they function exactly the same, as far as illumination goes. But yet he's trying to make his game better. And I say he because I know who it is that's creating the game. He's trying to make his game better than Railroads Online, but yet all I'm seeing is a complete and total copy and paste of Railroads Online. And he's talking about, my game's going to be better than Railroads Online. No, your game's just going to be a copy and paste of Railroads Online. Because I looked at an engine, guys, that's in the screenshot. It is a complete identical locomotive that we already have in the game. Same customization options, same everything that we have in Railroads Online. The only difference that I have been able to see in Century of Steam that I've seen from their studio is the fact that their customization options are more numerous. But that's it. Like everything else, like the whistle customization options, there's a funnel customization, headlight, paint job. I think they've even added like a cow catcher, also known as the front plow customization option. Like all that stuff is cool, but you know, I want to be able to play a game where I can just do like what I'm doing right here, where it's kind of like a simulator where I can load up on stuff and then leave. Load up, leave. Load up, leave. I don't want to have to be worried about, oh my god, I have to throw this this particular log in this particular place, because if I don't, the engine won't run properly. And apparently, from what I'm to understand, that's how the developers are creating their game, is to where it's overly realistic, and that is how I'm going to describe it, is overly realistic. And I will check out the game and I will give it a rating. I will tell you guys that now. I'm going to give the game a rating when I get it. And I will try to play it. And if it breaks my game, I will give it an immediate 0 out of 10. Because of the fact that it is not focusing around lower end computers or laptops. Now my game system, or my game setup obviously isn't lower end, but if it breaks my gaming laptop, then that tells me that obviously they don't care about people with lower end laptops and computers. All they care about is making money off of the darn game. So, I mean, I'll give Railroads Online some credit. I was able to play it on like a MacBook. I think this is a MacBook. Hold on, let me look at it. Yes, it is a, no, it's not a MacBook, excuse me, it's a HeroBook Pro. And it was made in China with an Intel. It never told me which one, but it ran the game great on low graphics. Like, I had the lowest graphics settings on and everything, and it ran the game great. I couldn't really do much. I had to run with like 5 cars at a time because I couldn't really see anything otherwise. But the game itself, it ran really nicely. And then until they had to unfortunately update the game to Unreal Engine 5. Now, everybody knows Unreal Engine 5 makes the game run a lot smoother. As you can see, it does. It runs a lot smoother. It allowed them to add the weather. It allowed them to add the daytime, the day and night cycle and all that stuff. And it honestly, it helped out. And, you know, it made me have to get my new laptop. But I love my new laptop. I do. I will vouch for this thing day in and day out. I love this thing a lot. But my biggest issue is Heist does not care that his game is going to break people's computers. He does not care about that. I do not believe that he gives one lick about the fact that his game is going to break people's computers. Because, like, from what I can tell, the game looks like it's going to be fun. Like, I'll give him that. The game looks like it's going to be fun. But is it going to be playable for everybody? That's my biggest thing. Are people who don't really care about how to throw a piece of firewood into an engine properly going to be able to play this game? Is there going to be a setting that I can turn that off? Because if that's the case, then yes, I will give this game a high rating. If not, then you're going to need to work on your game, and you're going to need to fix all these things. Because these are things that I'm going to look at, these are things I'm going to rate your game on. And if you don't like it, oh well, I don't care. I may not be a big YouTuber, but you know what? The big YouTubers are going to say the same thing I will. If it's not playable for lower end computers, and if it's not an easy game to play, and if it's too complicated, people are not going to want to play it. That is how a lot of player bases are. If it's too complicated for a lot of people, they're not going to want to play it because of how complicated it is. It's just a fact of life. And if he can't get over that, then I'm sorry. I can't help you. I get the feeling I'm only going to be able to load 2 more cars. And then I'm going to have to wait until I can get the Heisler, or not the Heisler, but the Shay up here to load up the rest of the train. Yep, I ain't going to be able to load but 2 more cars. Now, I know a lot of people are like, why don't you just load up the beams? No, the beams don't sell as much. The beams give me just as much cast as the planks, but you only haul 3 at a time. So if it makes you understand it a little bit better, I'm selling the thing that makes me the most money, not the least amount of money here. We want the thing that makes us the most money, not the least amount of money. Alright, let's get this locomotive moving because we're going to need it here. Alright, Shay. Get yourself a moving. Alright, so we know that coming out we're going to be hitting that turn, so we're going to need to hit that. And we're going to need to hit that, so here we go. Alright guys, here's the moment of truth. Can the Shay pull this up this hill and around the bend? Personally, I think it can, but we're gonna see. Because, I mean, come on, it's the Shay. The Shay is built for this kind of stuff. Once most of the load hits that hill, though, it's probably going to start really losing speed. Yep, we're already starting to lose it. But luckily, we level out right here, so we'll be fine. I love the fact that the Shay can make it up that. That's hilarious. Shay power, bro. Oh, it does have a little incline right there too, but I don't think the Shay is really going to have an issue pulling this. Come on, Shay. Don't make me look like a fool after I just complimented you. Be the locomotive I know you can be. Obviously, we're not always going to be having to fill up with water either, so that's also an issue that we had too, so. She's pulling it, look at that. That's what you call a strong locomotive right there. If it wasn't for the fact that it would take us 3 years to get to the iron ore mine, I'd honestly hook this train up and take it to the iron ore mine. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I might not even need the planks in order to do what I need to do. I need to do the calculations though. Since I have 12 cars, I need to figure out like what the ratio is that I need of each, so that I need so that I can figure out about how many cars of beams I need compared to planks. Because it's always going to be different. Alright, so here we go. We're just going to let this thing go on ahead and keep going because we all know that it's going to eat these logs like it ain't nobody's business because it's got a lot of work to do with those planks. You know, it's interesting. We could probably haul off a decent amount more. All it would take is for me to buy some more of these cars right here. You know, the funny thing, I'm going to have to buy some more of these later on anyway. I know for a fact that they're going to need these logs, so bag it on up. Told you. Go on ahead and unload that. Or we can just sit here. I don't care. Come on. There we go. Alright, so we still don't have enough for everything, so we're just going to let the shade continue down the hill here. Go get it loaded back up. And we'll continue with the planks on this one. But I'm curious as to how long it takes for them to do anything with this stuff. Dear Lord, it takes them forever. Look at that. It takes them forever to make anything with this freaking thing. Look at that. 14. It's only at 14 right now. 50. It does it singularly? Dear Lord. So in other words, it's going to take every single one of these logs to do what needs to be done. That ought to be interesting. Hopefully it'll be full by the time we get back from loading these up.
A widget. Where would I be hiding? Probably in Widget's nest.
Well, we might eventually get what we're trying to get. Once we get the Mason Bogey, though, I'm going to end the stream because I'm quite tired already, and I've been streaming for basically 2 hours. How long have I been streaming for? An hour? You're kidding. No, that's BS. That's gotta be BS. That has got to be BS if I've only been streaming for an hour.
Oh, well, you know, mind of its own.
New KFC Dunkin' Bucket. Grab yours for just $7.
For centuries I've led the Imperium to me. I led on.
You know, you guys aren't making it very easy for me to keep on streaming if y'all ain't saying squat right now, so I'm gonna need some music. Because, poll reveals Kamala Harris approval rating in governor's race. Okay, well, no one cares. Because, no one likes Kamala Harris. She's a liar. She fakes her accents to win votes. I don't care what anyone says, but that's what she does. I mean, you tell me, 1 minute she's like freaking a northerner, and then next minute she goes to the south and she's like, oh, hey, y'all! Like, what the flip else are you doing other than mocking my accent? I cannot, like, when you fake somebody's accent, like, I know I do like a British accent, and, you know, sometimes I do an Irish accent, you know, sometimes. But, sometimes I do that just to annoy the people that I play with. And I know it gets on their nerves, and that's why I do it. But there's a difference between that and trying to win somebody's vote by pretending that you stand with them by using their accent against them. And that is what she did. She is a smug, lying person, and she deserves no votes at all. And I have no respect for her at all.
Finish writing this paper. I'm swamped.
Just get Grammarly. It's free.
Can it help with what I...
Anyway.
A legend from the past was born again at last. Rumble over mountains and plains. From the golden age of steam, an engine seldom seen by those who never lived in bygone days. Big Boy was her name and went on the railroad flame as the largest engine on the UP line. class, she survives from out the past to show the power of steam in modern time. Roll on, big boy, roll on, big boy, rumbling across the northern plains. Roll on, big boy, roll on, big boy, climbing up the Wasatch Mountain Range. In 1959, they took her off the line and wrote her off as progress for the time. No dry eye could be found in jungles or in towns where once Big Boy had rolled in her prime. From the junkyards of the past, 4014 is the last to carry on the legacy of steam. At 488 and 4 and a part of railroad lore, she roars from out the past like some lost dream. Roll on, big boy, roll on, big boy, rumbling across the northern plains. Roll on, big boy, roll on, big boy, climbing up the Wasatch Mountain Range. Roll on, big boy, roll on. Roll on, big boy, roll on. Roll on, big boy, roll on. Roll on. Roll on, big boy.
Anyway. I really wish they'd stop.
I stepped out alone with the mountain in sight, the weight on my shoulders, the day turning night. The fog wraps the peak, the light fades away, but I'll climb through the mist, come what it may. The mountain is high, but I'll carry my cross with destiny's weight and the dice long tossed. Through biting gales, through hardship and loss, I'll carry my cross, I'll carry my cross. The devil lay still on the cross that I bear, his grip on the wood filling me with despair. But with each step I take, the fog starts to part. The path now revealed shows the demon apart. The mountain is high, but I'll carry my cross with destiny's weight and the dice long tossed. Through biting gales, through hardship and loss, I'll carry my cross, I'll carry my cross. I reach the summit, the cross in my hand, a testament carved in the rock of this land. The weight I have borne melts away in the light as the dawn breaks the dark, ending the night. The mountain is high, but I'll carry my cross with destiny. destiny's weight and the dice long tossed. Through biting gales, through hardship and loss, I'll carry my cross, I'll carry my cross.
Mm-mm.
I was raised in the shadows where the law won't tread, where the fire burns hotter and the words go unsaid, with a fist full of grit and a chip on my name. I ain't running from trouble, I'm the one to blame. The gravel sings under my boots at night, an outlaw's heart living for the fight. I've got outlaw in my blood, fire in my veins, born to raise hell and dance in the flames, with a rebel heart that just won't quit. I'm a storm rolling into wilder fit. No chains can hold me, no man can tame. I'm an outlaw, baby, it's more than a name. The highway's my church and the stars are my guide. The roar of my heart is where I confide. Whiskey's my witness, the night's my bride, and the outlaw code is how I survive. If you cross my line, you'll know it's true. This Kentucky boy's got nothing to lose. I've got outlaw in my blood, fire in my veins, born to raise hell and dance in the flames, with a rebel heart that just won't quit. I'm a storm rolling into wilder fit. No chains can hold me, no man can tame. I'm an outlaw, baby, it's more than a name. They can brand me a sinner, call me a fool, but I'll die standing tall, playing by my rules. The dirt of Kentucky's what I defend, and outlaw till the end, never gonna bend. I've got outlaw in my blood, fire in my veins, born to raise hell and dance in the flames, with a rebel heart that just won't quit. I'm a storm rolling into wilder fit. No chains can hold me, no man can tame. I'm an outlaw, baby, it's more than a name. My story, let the truth be told. I live like a legend, too raw to hold. From the hills of Kentucky to the great unknown, this outlaw ride's never alone.
cold distant stars, loneliness trailing like a ghost in the dark. Every step tells a story, every mile has a cost, but I keep moving forward, no matter what's lost. Weather the storm, any start has an end, and any end makes you start once again. So I lift my glass, toast to the pain, 'cause every low road's just part of the game. On whiskey I lean, through dust and regret, with each bitter swallow, I ain't finished yet. Lonely as hell, but still on the run. I'll keep moving forward till the last road is gone. Weather the storm, any start has an end, and any end makes you start once again. So I lift my glass, toast to the pain, 'cause every low road's just part of the game. So here's to the road, and the faith that won't tire, for keeping me moving through the muck and the mire. When the end comes calling, I'll welcome the fall, 'cause any end's just a start after all. Weather the storm, any start has an end, and any end makes you start once again. So I lift my glass, toast to the pain, 'cause every low road's just part of the game. My journey won't stop, I've still got miles to roam. No matter how broken, the road's still my home. For every little valley and every lost friend, there's always a start at the end of the end.
If you love binge watching and you hate being interrupted by ads, you need Pi. It's a free browser extension that blocks ads on your favorite site.
In a town where the linemen don't get a trip, the crack of the whip and the stench of the dead, a whiskey-soaked plants with a heart full of rust. I roam through the night in the shadows of dust. Outlaws and drifters, they all know my name. A ghost in the twilight with the devil to blame. Her memory haunts me like blood on the sand. My revolver's by God and my knife's in my hand. In the shadows of dust, where the wild roams free, I'm a renegade rider with no place to be. The moon's my companion, the stars are my home. In the shadows of dust, forever I'll roam.
tales of woe, of bandits and bounty and hearts turned to stone. The gold in my saddle ain't worth what I've lost, for love turned to vengeance at such a cruel cost. Voices of sinners call out in the night, their faces erased by the flickering light. I buried my past in the gunpowder's glow, each bullet a secret, only the shadows know. In the shadows of dust, where the wild roams free, I'm a renegade rider with no place to be. The moon's my companion, the stars are my home. In the shadows of dust, forever I'll roam. In the shadows of dust. In the shadows of dust. In the shadows of dust, where the wild roams free, I'm a renegade rider with no place to be. The moon's my companion, the stars are my home. In the shadows of dust, forever I'll roam. In the shadows of dust. In the shadows of dust.
It's been a long dusty trail, it's a chapped and dry. We need some liquid death under the pale blue sky. We heard that your town rocks down at the old saloon, so that's where we'll meet from sundown till high noon. We're calling all pretty women, we're here to party down. With our 6 guns and whiskey, we're coming to your town. Don't play the newfangled crap, just that old-time country sound. Some rock and roll for flavor, that's where we'll all be found. So kick up your heels tonight with some boot pounding stomps. There'll be some square dancing too, straight from the southern swamps. We're calling all pretty women, we're here to party down. With our 6 guns and whiskey, we're coming to your town. We don't stop till it's last call, and then the real fun starts. Like New Year's Eve in 1999, we'll steal each other's hearts. Tonight the fun begins, so let yourselves go. Forever in the moment of one hell of a show. We're calling all pretty women, we're here to party down. With our 6 guns and whiskey, we're coming to your town. So gather around, my friends, let's raise a toast tonight to laughter, love, and memories neath the stars so bright. With every strum and every song, let's dance until we drown. Billy the Kid is here, we're coming to your town.
With Geico, we can easily bundle home and car insurance and save even more.
Yeah, just like that breakfast burrito.
There isn't too much hot.
Shut up, please. So it's the sick of Geico.
A pair of worn shoes and my will's what I've owned. Never dined from silver, yet savored each bite. I did the most with the least, kept God by my side.
walk on my own, on a path right or wrong. No need to look back, no need to lean on. I've traveled so long, I've traveled alone. I've walked all these miles from dusk till the dawn. Never sought for a ride, that's how I roll. Nothing is free, just hiding its toll. A hand that is given might not seek to save, but only to ask for more than it gave. I walk on my own, on a path right or wrong. No need to look back, no need to lean on. I've traveled so long, I've traveled alone. I've walked all these miles from dusk till the dawn. I may only see what's meant to be shown. The only steps I count are the ones I tread. The only thing that counts is the trail ahead. I walk on my own, on a path right or wrong. No need to look back, no need to lean on. I've traveled so long, I've traveled alone. I've walked all these miles from dusk till the dawn.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Bateman when you need Batman.
Stop. Whoa.
Seen humankind turned upside down, pandemics, wars, and cities drown. I've learned to live a broken day, still breathing through, I'm here to stay. Outlasted another year, made it past one more round. Let's take a shot while we're still here, before the world hits the ground. Surviving still this deadly stage. Outlasted
Can't believe I just did that. No number, no name, no nothing. Oh. I'll fix it later. I can make that. I have an idea though. It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! Well, actually, it might not be, because I don't know if this thing has any water in it. That it does not. Does it have any water in the boiler? A little bit. It'll work. Alright, we'll let the thing heat up. We need, like, a lot of stuff in here. Okay, we'll get to working on it. There's one thing I know that I can do. I can grab this one and then hook it up and I can tow it, and then I can tow that one too. I can do that. It'll be annoying, but we can just put them near the shop and then I can redo that other one, and then we can just leave that one in a siding for extra coal.
Last year we planted a tree for every new download of the app. Over 54,000 trees later, we're
chase the stars, you lose.
We're ready.
Choice we make, a life we've sold. Freedom whispers, but never free. The price it takes is eternity.
Let us go. No, my pets feel fine. Thank you for asking, though. What the flip happened to this? The flip? Oh well.
The sun drank some too. It slipped from the sky. I'm still awake, blue. The ashtrays filled up. No more drink in my glass. The whiskey has eased the weight of my past. Again on my own, long road in my way. I roam it alone. It leads me astray. The moon shining bright, but fears come to play. I search for some light to guide.
Anything else derail without me noticing?
Weight of my heart is all that I have. My soul is worn out. I long for the dawn. The sun's so burned out. It sighs on its rise. It glows anyhow as all darkness dies. The darkness is gone just outside.
Alright, now obviously, I know a lot of y'all are like, why the flip does he have that massive locomotive? So, on the Pine Valley map, there is a special little area that they have a quote-unquote Easter egg, and that is where I found this locomotive. So I'm going to use it now to, do a lot of my deliveries. Now, obviously, you know, it's not going to be the permanent locomotive once it runs out of coal. I don't really care what happens to it until I can actually fill it up with legitimate coal. But we have the ability to fill this sucker up, and I'm going to take the chance, and I'm going to try and fill this bad boy up. So I just gotta hope that I got enough room right here to actually pull forward, and I don't think I do. Nope. Well, maybe. Let's see. Just enough room. Dear Lord, that is crazy. Alright, well, guess that's a lucky me moment, so we'll fill this bad boy up with coal from the locomotive that I messed up, and we will grab the 2 cars, hook them up to the Montezuma. Okay, so it's filling up, so you just grab you and re-rail you over here so that it's a little bit easier to do what I gotta do. There we go. Chunk it. Chunk it. You mean to tell me I just wasted a coal? We're gonna fill this bad boy up with coal using this one's coal. Well, we're not going to completely fill it up, obviously. We're only going to take about 1,000 of it. Because I think that'll be enough to keep this locomotive running for quite a long time. And yes, this is actually something that would have been done. It's called coal sharing, I think, or something like that. But you gotta think about it, guys. Like, this is a lot of coal. Plus, this locomotive, I don't think I'll be using since I forgot to put all the numbers and stuff on it. So I might just empty it completely of coal and just use it as a refiller for locomotives for now. Alright, so we got 1,000 coal in here, so I think we'll be good. I'll let that bad boy keep on filling that. You've got to be kidding me. It only just now reached 100. This thing will be sitting here for a while, so let me go on ahead and I'll just keep on delivering things till that thing gets set to go. Where'd Montezuma take off to, by the way? Because it, like... How far did Montezuma get shoved? Holy crap, guys. Look at this. Dude, it shoved it so hard, Montezuma went all the way back to where we were. And derailed again. Well, actually, it did derail. Yeah, that was actually pretty bad. It's actually crazy, too. Look at how bad it derailed it, too. Like, it knocked all the cars off the rails here. Dude, that train's got a lot of power if it can do all of that. What? Oh, man. Poor Montezuma fell over. And she can't get up. At least not on her own. She needs help. I think that probably just helped out the Montezuma. And the train cars are now re-railed, so I think we should be good as far as that goes. So I'm going to check, make sure all the train cars are on the tracks, and then we're going to go grab those 2 cars. And I don't really care if they're loaded or not. I'm going to place them down and unload them. And then we'll put them on the train. It's been raining the past few days, too, in the game. I don't know what the world's with that. But while Montezuma's making its way back, we'll do some runs with the Shay and stuff. If we have to. Because I really want to get I want to get the Cook and all that, but I don't want to cheat, and I feel like that locomotive is a really big cheat vehicle. But since I messed up on the other one, we're still going to use it, but I got to figure out what I want to do with... Bro, I did it again. I keep messing up what button to click. But once we get everything resituated to where things are a little bit easier to do, I'll use that locomotive. But for now, I don't see a reason to use that locomotive other than the fact that it has like a massive amount of speed on it. Other than that, like, it's not really a locomotive that I see being a useful locomotive. Simply because of the fact that, you know, locomotives like that are overpowered in the beginning of the game, in my opinion. And I really don't want an overpowered locomotive in the game yet. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, I was planning on getting that locomotive, and, you know, the thought went through my head, well, I already have it, I might as well not get it. But then it went through my head, well, you know, I imagine there's going to be some other players that are going to want to play it, so, you know, I might as well. And guys, I've never actually purchased that locomotive. That is the one locomotive that I've never been able to purchase because of how expensive it is. Alright, so let's go on ahead and head back so we can do what we gotta do. So, for those of you who are wondering, we need another probably a good 1,000. So, let us go on ahead and throw that switch so that we're ready to go. And then we'll be ready. So once we... I actually have to go check on my brother. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go check the water before we load up. And if it's at a decent spot... I don't really want to use that locomotive just yet, guys. And the reason I say that is because I do have plans to build, and I didn't want to say anything yet, but I do have plans to build the gold mining industry in this map. I have an idea on where I'm going to put everything. But I have to figure out like how I'm going to build the track to get to it, and that's going to be the biggest issue for me. So I've never been one that's really been too talented when it came to building track. So needless to say, that is going to be an issue. But we will see how well I do this time. Also, I get the feeling what happened earlier is I clicked the switch too early, and the train was still coming off that switch, and what happened was it derailed the last car, which caused the other car to derail along with it, but it ripped off the train before it could derail the rest of the train, so... but we're gonna get that locomotive. The 10 mile, we're gonna customize it, kind of get it like it is with the other one. Basically what I'm gonna use that big locomotive for, the plan is more or less a fast runner. Like if I needed something with a little bit of extra pulling power, it'll be my fast runner. Because guys, yes, I do plan on having bigger locomotives on this railroad, I do. But I don't want to have them early on, and this is, like, yes, I know that is a very big locomotive to have early on. That's kind of why I didn't want to get it and use it just yet, but then I messed up, and, you know, I don't want to use a 10 mile without it being labeled or anything because of the fact it just bothers me. You know, I'm not labeling any of the cars or anything because of the fact that doesn't really bother me too much, you know. It's just, it takes too much time trying to label every single car. So, you know, I don't bother to do that. But, I don't know, guys. We'll see. I'll decide what I want to do with that locomotive since it's fired up and working now. But I know that this 10 mile right here is not going to get used, so. Oh, wow, it filled up. Look at that. It was actually pretty quick. Look at that. If nothing else, what we'll do... Now, like, I know you guys noticed that the Betsy and Betsy 2 are sitting over there. I haven't used those. If nothing else, this locomotive will just sit here and be ready to go when we need it. Both of these will basically be emergency locomotives. How about that? We'll make them emergency locomotives. Like, this one doesn't have any water, so obviously we'll have to figure out a way to get that in water, but I'm going to save it here. I think that is a really good little setup. So I'm going to take a screenshot. There we go. That will end up being on the next one. We're going to save the game there, and I'm going to take me a little break. For those of you who are wondering, tonight I am planning on trying to do a War Thunder stream, but it is going to be a little different because tonight's War Thunder stream will not really be having a lot of viewers in it. It will have me and my other two friends playing in it. We'll be doing different things, trying to play with each other in War Thunder. We'll be having a little bit of fun on that. So I hope everybody is looking forward to that as much as I am. But anyway, I hope everybody has a lovely day. And remember, you mess with the wolf.